Today's video is going to be showing you how I take a used tank and clean it up. Now, it was full of gravels and stuff, and I just took a little box and I scooped it all out. Now, this was used as a reptile tank. It's a 46 bowl front, and picked this up for 40 bucks. My buddy did. He wants me to reseal it for him because you can tell somebody did a poor job as trying to reseal this once upon a time, even though it is pretty tight and not peeling up. You can see down here, it's a chance that we ain't gonna take. It's too cheap to not reseal a used tank and give you that peace of mind. It's something that's easy to do. We also going to paint the back of this black. That will be in this video too. And let's get started. Let's just jump into it, because this is going to be used as a salt tank. First thing you want to do is clean it out pretty good. As I said, that can be the most time consuming. A box can help get sand and gravel out, and what's left you can take a shop vac and just pretty well suck it all out. Everybody likes a little sucking in their life. So once you get that, you can go ahead and try to get these hot water stains off, or whatever them stains is. SOS pads sometimes is good to use on grass. It won't scratch it. Sometimes, a lot of times people fill us up and use acid to clean it. I don't recommend that. I do not like doing that. Just, get you some water and vinegar and a SOS pad, and it'll bring every bit of this hot water stain off. That would be the next best step to do, because you need to clean grass in order to not only paint the background, it needs to be clean, but for your silicone to stick to. So clean the grass. So you can do this in your house if you want to. We just outside. It's such a pretty day. And let's just get started. You will need a scraper, a razor blade scraper. It makes it more easy, and a knife. A razor blade knife too, to get in the corners. Sometimes you can do it just with this. You want to pretty well just put your razor blade knife right into the silicone. Sometimes you need more than one. And just go down, just like so. And what that does, that lifts it up and come back up, just like so. And it shouldn't take you long to reseal a tank. If it's your first time, it might take you a while, but pretty well, once it starts doing that, you're getting it. Go back up, loosen it up some more. Sometimes a very sharp razor blade knife can get it the first try. Sometimes it takes more than one, but this is what we got. Oh, this tank used to be black. You can see it used to have black silicone, and you don't want to get, perfect example guys, you don't want to get your razor blade knife inside that silicone. This is your support silicone. You don't want to damage it. If you reseal your tank, and then we'll jump down into the bottom. Another thing, on the seams, you want to make sure you get all your residue off. If it ain't coming off, sometimes if you used your razor blade on other tanks, it could be rusty and you need to just change it. You see this residue just coming off, you want to make sure you get it clean. So sometimes you have to just be careful and take your time and work it off. I done got this side clean. I need to get this residue off this side. And just a couple passes, just like so, takes that right off. This is where the razor blade knife comes in handy, is getting this out of the corners and the top right here that you can't get to with a scraper, because I like to fill my tanks all the way up, so I want a good seal right in here. So you want to make sure all that is clean. Now we got this pretty well clean. Let's go underneath. I'll show you how we move that. Just shove your razor blade the same way you do the sides, just like so, and do this part the same way. Now it might not, yours might be easier, because this guy sure did do a good job resealing this tank. Even though it was still bonded pretty good. Couple passes, that should start coming up, or we can grab a hold of it, just like so. And sometimes you can just remove it out in pieces. But it's that simple. Huh. Tammy U. Assembled by Tammy U. Well, Tammy, we're reassembling your tank. So when I was cleaning this out, the same way I told you, vinegar and water did great. You don't want to, they different size SOS pads on cleaning this out. When you're washing your tank, you want to be careful and not get one of that scratchy grass. Or sometimes you can use just a pot scrubby and get a lot of it off with vinegar and water. But I got that cleaned out that way, you know, all the stains that you seen at the beginning. The silicone is now all clean. Got all the residue off. You gotta make sure you get all the residue. Now this tank was sealed before, did a poor shitty job when I was cleaning it out. It leaked. I knew it would. They wasn't no use to even trying to test fill this tank. And for $6 you can buy a tube of silicone. That's plenty enough to do this 46 gallon. So once you get all that, you can go in here and clean all the leftover little bits and pieces of silicone out. Shop vac helps. Brush, you know, a little toothbrush, get in the nicks and crannies, get it all out. However you want to do it. I found a shop vac is the best, and then I'll show you what to use to clean it all up before we apply the silicone. To pretty well clean this, I use paper towels and fingernail polish remover. Show you what brand I use. I pretty well use this on all my reseals of my tanks. If you watched any of my videos on my channel, I got quite a few reseal videos on tanks because I got quite a few tanks and I buy a lot used. And a lot of people come to me local to reseal tanks also. You can use alcohol and water. That's great. And I prefer just fingernail polish remover. It evaporates quick, dries good, and don't leave no residue. So use whatever you want, do your research, but that's just what I use. Now once you get all that clean, you can use a couple different kinds of silicone for these tanks. They do offer a lot in different colors. Black is one of them. You got white. I ain't never seen anybody use white. Then you got the common clear coat, you know, silicone. I use all-purpose silicone. Silicone 1. Now people will tell you 7 years mold free is mold inhibitors. GE just relabeled this. All silicone, 100% silicone, is mold resistant. It's just the way it is, folks. And if you read on the back, it's still the same formula and all that. So whatever people tell you, don't listen. This is the only thing I use on my tanks, and I got a lot of tanks. Now, if you're splitting a tank, I might go with something a little bit stronger on tensile strength. But for resealing a tank, this is basically all you need for that seal layer. So let's go ahead and cut a 45-degree in it. We got this cleaned up, and I'll show you what to do next. So next step, you want to make sure there ain't nothing here. You take a shop vacuum, vacuum it out. You can also dust what little things is in these crevices with just a little paper towel. Just dust them in the middle here and get them out of the way. Right, here's some residue we need to get off, and double check everything. Silicone won't stick to silicone, guys. You want to make sure this is good to go. Now you can do this inside or outside. Outside, you know, you got better ventilation if you use silicone 1. It's cures with vinegar. Silicone 1, what I'm using in this video, is what I recommend unless you want black. So you can tape your edges just like I did. You can do the whole tank like this, but I just usually do the front of the tanks. Most of the time I don't even do it for most of my tanks. I just take my finger and it turns out good if you watched any of my other videos. But this, I just want them down to here. I stop at the rim of the tank here. It gives plenty of room for silicone to come around. And you pour it off before it dries. So let's go ahead and get started. Poke a hole into your silicone. This is a 45-degree angle. I like to start on the corners first, then do the bottom. But you can, on bigger tanks, you need to go a little bit and smooth, then go a little bit more. But this is a 45 gallon, 55 gallons. You usually got plenty of time to do the whole tank and then smooth it out. So let's go ahead. take your finger and just smooth it up. Just like so. A good crisp line on a tank. So once you peel your tape off, you'll be left with a nice crisp line. You can do the whole tank this way if you wanted to, but I prefer just doing the front. I usually paint backs and sides and install baffles. Now this is for a friend. I think he's using it for a salt tank, and I wanted the front to be very presentable. If it was mine personally, I probably wouldn't even take the front off. I just run my finger up it. But you can see how you get crisp edges that way. Now we're going to let this dry. Before you want to add fish, give it at least 2 days if you used a lot of silicone. I have gotten away with about 30 hours, a day and a half, but I like to wait at least 2 days before filling and adding fish. Some people like to do it longer, but if you watch any of my videos, I fill in 2 days and have no trouble at all. So we let this dry, and then we'll come back and show you how to do the background. Once you get it pretty well lined out, if you don't want to paint your trim, you got a wooden trim or something, you don't want to paint it, you need to mask it off with painter's tape. Mask the bottom of it off. The sides is not getting painted, so you need to take tape and run it right on this edge, right here. Make sure it's mashed down on both sides so you don't get paint on your sides. That's all you kind of need to do with the paint I'm using. If you spray paint, you need to mask it a lot more paper, and you know, it's just more expensive when you can get this stuff for like $9 to $10. So let me show you what I use. I use Reseal Performance Enamel, and this is gloss black in it, and this is a gallon. You can get a quart jar for like $8. The gallons is 18 bucks. It's best to buy as a gallon, in my opinion. It goes a long way. There's a lot of tanks been done with this. So go ahead, get you a roller and a paintbrush. You can get them also at the dollar store for $1. You can't get the paint, but you can get that. You can get the paint at your dollar store. That's awesome. So go ahead and get it ready. So guys, this is the first coat of paint. If you can tell with the Reseal, usually one coat is all you need as it flows out. It looks good. But if you need a second coat, sometimes you might not have paint sticking in a few light spots if you check it. You got to let this stuff dry for about 4 to 6 hours. It needs to be smooth to the touch. You should be able to touch it and it be smooth. When it's 4 to 6 hours and it's smooth to the touch, you can go ahead and put a second coat on it. But usually one coat is all you need. So I'm going to give this dry time. And then shine a light in the back of it, make sure it's covered good in this one coat. If it is, I ain't gonna recoat it, and get back with you. And I got a few more tanks I'm probably gonna do since I done got the paint out. And see you then. So we got the background all painted. It turned out great. This is just like a dud on the inside. I shined a light through it. You can't see the light on the back side. I did do 2 coats on this. Like I said, silicone turned out great. I did do a water test on this. I'm very confident in the sides. Usually the bottom is what I'm worried about. But as you can see, I marked it and it's been sitting for hours full of water. So that's pretty much how you paint your background and reseal your tank. If you enjoyed this video, let me know on the comment section, and drop a like. Show your support for my channel by smashing that subscribe button, and if you need any more info, just comment. See you next time. Thank you for watching.